while ago I made this video about the Smoke Ninja, a portable smoke machine. I'll put the link in the description. And I believe this kind of device opens up a lot of options to create a more cinematic picture. It seems like there are a bunch of manufacturers who think the same, and in the last year or so we've seen a lot of similar portable smoke machines on the market. So when I was asked if I wanted to test out the LensGo Smoke B fog machine, I said yes. In this video we'll take a good look at the device, and after that I'll give you some advice on how I use smoke during a portrait shoot with the beautiful Shana. I was sent this device for free, but as always my opinions are my own and the manufacturer had no say in the content of this video whatsoever. In fact, I'm not sure if they are going to like this review. Let me start by saying that the Smoke B comes in a very attractive package with lots of accessories and at a very affordable price point. It sure is one of the cheapest devices on the market, and you'll get a lot of options for your money. The device is compact and it feels solid. It comes in a decent carrying case, and the kit includes a bunch of accessories to create different types of smoke, fog and even a dry ice effect. There is also a remote control, 6 little bottles of fog liquid and a haze fan accessory. And that fan is one of the main reasons why I wanted to try this particular device. But I'll come back to that later. The device works and it does exactly what it promises. But it kind of feels like it's put together a bit too quickly. In some areas it feels a bit more like a promising prototype rather than a finished product. There are a lot of small things that could have been improved without increasing the production cost, in my opinion. Now take a look at the case. It's nice and decent quality, and it even says how to store your device. But if you want me to keep it upright, why the hell doesn't the case stay upright? Then there's the tank cover. Nice, it protects you from touching the tank, which gets hot. It connects with magnets, nice too, but it doesn't fit very well and it's a bit finicky. And when you use the fan accessory, it comes off when you remove the fan. The tank itself is nice and big, but the opening to fill it is just that little bit too small for the bottles of liquid. If you don't fill it up very carefully, you'll make a sticky mess, and spilled fluid can create unwanted and even unsafe situations. None of these little things is a deal breaker in itself, but they add up in the overall user experience. If you are willing to deal with those things, the Smoke B is still capable of creating a lot of cool effects though. Now there are so many different kinds of smoke and ways to apply smoke to your pictures. I have a big smoke machine, I have a haze machine, and I worked with them for many years. Smoke is cool, but like with most cool things, it's easy to overdo it. And I've been guilty of overdoing it, and looking back at the pictures of this shoot, I think I went a bit too far on some of the pictures this time as well. I generally prefer a haze machine over a smoke machine, as haze is more subtle and it lingers for longer. But to my knowledge, there are no portable haze machines yet. And if there are, let me know. Luckily, you can turn the thicker smoke from a smoke machine into the more subtle haze by moving the air and breaking up the smoke. It's still not the same as real haze, but it comes pretty close. On the day of my shoot with Shana, the weather was horrible. And we didn't really have a cool location available, so I decided to start the shoot in my old school garage. I believe any place can be a good location, and it's up to me to get something out of it. I shot with my trusty GFX50R, which in combination with the Mitakon 65mm f1.4 is still my favorite kit for intimate portraiture. I also shot a couple of pictures with my Vintage Minolta 58mm and 85mm, but most of these shots were taken on the Mitakon. We started out simple. I bounced the Zion Cinepeer CX100 LED light into the wall to create a Rembrandt light, and then I added smoke. I made sure that most of the smoke was behind Shana and just a little bit in front of her. Because there are big gaps under the roof of the garage, there is a lot of air movement, and as you can see, that airflow quickly breaks up the smoke and turns it into haze quickly. This gave me the subtle effect I was after. It just softens up the pictures just that little bit. I then moved on and placed the light behind Shana as a strong rim light. The ambient light through the garage windows is used as the main light. And as you can see, by backlighting the smoke or the haze, it becomes a lot more intense. And maybe it was a bit too much on these pictures, although I still kind of like the results. With the light in another position, but still kind of the same setup, I could use the ambient light from the windows to create some depth in the background. This means that there's basically no main light on Shana's face. But that's where the haze comes in. The backlight reflects on all those suspended smoke particles, which creates enough fill light. The dynamic range of the GFX sensor does the rest. I then added a small shoot-through umbrella to the backlight to illuminate even more particles and make the backlight a bit softer at the same time. Keeping the smoke in the garage topped up requires more feeling than science. It depends on the size of the room and the airflow. But with some experience, you'll quickly get the hang of it. And I find these portable smoke machines very handy to quickly and locally add some more smoke. For the last setup in the garage, and probably my favorite of the whole shoot, we just used the available light coming in from the windows behind Shana. By the way, I started with the Minolta 58mm for this setup. You'll notice again that the backlight reflecting on the smoke particles takes care of just enough fill light to not block the shadows completely. I did like the shape of the V-neck of Shana's dress, but I also thought that light from behind and above would delicately shape her shoulders and collarbones. So we did a quick outfit change and I switched back to the Mitakon. Time to move to our second location, a small shed nearby kindly loaned to us by a friend. This place was tiny and wouldn't give us that many options, but I was determined to make something out of it. This is the classic example of setting something up and gradually fine-tuning it until you get the shot. Don't give up on a setup too easy. Keep exploring it until you get somewhere. The big round window in the back was the starting point. It nicely framed Shana. To get even more separation, I clamped the LED light to the ceiling with a super clamp, added smoke and started shooting. Now in this shed there was way less airflow than in my garage, so I used the haze fan accessory to break up the smoke from the start. It worked quite well, I must say. I also turned the light to a pretty warm color to contrast with the bluish ambient light. To create some light from the opposite side, I also used a tiny Godox TT350 flash. I like it in some of the pictures, but in others I prefer the flash to be off. And throughout the rest of that shoot in that setup, I took pictures with and without the flash. Setting up the lighting is a process. You keep refining the setup until you feel it's exactly right. But that's not the end of the whole process, it's actually just the start. This is where you start working on outfit, pose, expression and composition. We ended our shoot by keeping the same setup, but moving Shana towards the window. I shot these with the Minoltas for a more distinct look. I'm really happy with the results of this shoot, and the smoke plays a big role in the visual atmosphere. So I feel almost guilty that I've been so harsh on the Smoke B at the start of this video. But I stand by what I said. For the price, this thing offers a lot of options, but it could have been way better with some small tweaks. So LensGo, I'm looking forward to a Smoke B version 2, and in the meantime I'll keep using both the current Smoke B and my Smoke Ninja. Now this turned into a pretty long video, but that's to compensate making so few of them. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments, and if you'd like me to dive a bit deeper into smoke and haze or something else, let me know as well. Until the next one, bye.